economic reforms in India. Meaning of economic reforms. Reforms means bringing in change, and this all happened in 1991 when the then Narasimha government planned to come out with a new economic policy, and this is what we call it as economic reforms, which started in the year 1991. And the purpose of this economic reform is to improve the economic growth of the country and also to rebuild the internal and external faith in the Indian economy. So in large, the basic purpose of this economic reform is to bring cooperation from the private sector in the path of growing Indian economy. And there were policy changes which were being brought in terms of the following. Number one is technology upgradation. Number two is industrial licensing. Number three is removal of restrictions on the private sector. Number four is foreign investments and foreign trade. The essential features of the economic reforms could be called as an acronym LPG. L stands for liberalization, P for privatization, and G for globalization. I repeat, LPG, liberalization, privatization, and globalization. And what were the economic challenges in India and why there is a need for this economic reform? Actually, after independence in 1947, Indian economy was in deep trouble because Indian economy was completely relying upon the agriculture sector, and the problem with the agriculture sector at that time was it was employing more number of people and the productivity was pretty less. So in short, we can say that it has surplus labor and less productivity. And the problem with the industrial sector at that time here in India was modern technologies, less investments, capacity building was less, infrastructure was not up to the mark, and public orientation. These were some of the issues which were being faced by India. Other than this, other problems of India were, number one is population growth. That is, in the current, we all know that in the current status, India stands next to China in terms of population in the world. The current population is more than 130 crores. So, at the period of independence and up to 1990, population was being considered as one of the greatest drawback for India, rather one of the greatest weakness for India, because Indian government needs to spend much of its money in terms of taking care of its citizens, basic requirements like that of food, clothing, medicine, shelter, education and health. So this has become a greater burden and economic growth couldn't be seen. And next one is the rate of growth of unemployment. As we know that the population is much more higher, and because of this enormous population, the unemployed population is also more. And third one is capital formation. So due to high population, India was having constraints in terms of capital, and of course all the money which was being available, all the money and other resources like gold, silver, which were being available in the country were being looted by almost all the foreign invaders, which happened in the first 20 centuries. So that becomes a problem for India. So everything was being looted away, the money was being taken away from this country, gold, silver and almost all the money was being taken away from this country by the foreign invaders like British and others, earlier invaders. So this has resulted in problem in terms of capital formation. Next one is inequality in terms of wealth. There was a huge gap between the rich and the poor, and that was again one of the reason for economic issue in India. Coming to the next one, what is economic reforms? The economic reforms normally which has come in order to bring in change. So economic reforms normally indicates to deregulation or at times to decrease the size of the government to eliminate deformities caused by management or the presence of administration rather than current or raised regulations or government plans to lessen perversions created by market failure. So economic reforms, we can say that there is a need for economic reform. And what is economic reform basically? And what this new economic policy, that is NEP, does? What was the objective part of it? So let us go into detail. Economic reform is nothing but the role of the government, which was being minimized, and the role of the private sector, which was being increased. So that's point number one. So the government has brought in policy changes and rules and regulations which will help the economy to grow by means of opening up the economy and by means of allowing the private players to gain importance in the Indian economic growth. Until then, 1990, the government played a very important role and the public sector undertakings were being given more importance rather than private sector. So this is what happened in between 1947 to 1990. And in 1991, Manmohan Singh government has brought in this 1991 economic reforms. So what is the need for it? The need for it is, until then the government was concentrating more on the public sector, but they were not doing well. Number two is adverse balance of payment, which means that the import is more and the export is less, and because of this India was in deep trouble. And number three, the foreign exchange reserves have also come down. And number four, government has borrowed huge money and it is having huge debt, and that has become a problem. And apart from this, price inflation, price of essential commodities were also in deep trouble, and the terms and conditions which were being made by World Bank and IMF were willing to give a huge money for the economic revival of India, with the condition that India should come out with a new economic policy. So these were the reasons why the economic reforms were being brought in. So what is this new economic policy? NEP. New economic policy, NEP, has been brought in 1991 with the help of three important things: liberalization, privatization and globalization. And there are two important measures which were being done through new economic policy. One is stabilization measures, two is structural reform measures. Stabilization measures help the country to stabilize, to bring in stabilization in terms of its economic growth, and structural reforms were being aiming at the long-term growth of the economy. So in stabilization, they have done two. One is corrective adverse balance of payment. So immediately they wanted to correct the adverse balance of payment, that is the negative balance of payment. Number two is to tackle the price levels, increase in price levels, that is the inflation part of it. And in structural reforms, they have attempted to do two. One is they wanted to improve the efficiency, and number two is they wanted to remove the trade restrictions. Now we will be seeing the need for economic reforms in detail. Okay. Number one is the poor performance of the public sector. Public sector undertakings were being given utmost importance till 1990, but the performance of public sector undertakings were quite disappointing, and they were incurring huge losses because of inefficient management. And the reason could be, as the government employees were enjoying a permanent job part of it, they were unable to perform well. And next one is adverse BOP, that is the balance of payments, which means the imports exceeded the exports. Imports grew at a very high rate without matching the growth of exports, and government, although putting a lot of restrictions in terms of imports, the imports were more in number, although the exports were very less because of the poor quality and we were not price competitive in the international market. Next one is fallen foreign exchange reserves. Foreign exchange reserves, that is the foreign currencies, are normally a government needs to maintain it, and in order to import petrol and other important items, and it has dropped beyond the limit, and country was in deep trouble. So the government was not able to repay its borrowings from abroad. So that has resulted in huge debt trap for the Indian government. So at this time, IMF said that they are willing to help India, providing India comes out with a new economic policy. Inflationary pressure was also there. Inflation means all of us know that increase in price levels. So there was constant increase in the price of essential items, and because of this inflation, there is a need for new set of policies which will control this inflation, and that's the reason for this new economic policy. Then we have the terms and conditions of World Bank and IMF. So World Bank and IMF, as we have seen it earlier, were willing to give $7 billion to India in order to repay its debt and also to maintain its foreign exchange reserves and all, but with a basic agreement that India should come out with its new economic policy. And these were the basic reasons of new economic policy. The need for, so in this we have seen the need for new economic reforms. What is new economic reforms? So thank you.